Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, leaving a like or a comment or subscribing, all of these things help out the channel very much. Hope you're all having a great holiday season. Welcome back to another news I missed, where I go over the news in the cryptocurrency space that I missed. And yeah, let's jump right, there we go, into it. Several important improvements to the Cardano ecosystem have been unveiled by the various developers operating within it. The innovations include both the blockchain itself and the decentralized applications being built on it. There is a constant stream of Cardano news. There is always, it's very fascinating. There's always a new update, a new upgrade, a new something to look forward to for this coin. The first development can be considered the so-called CIP1694, where the acronym stands for Cardano Improvement Proposal. This innovation, developed in co-authorship with Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, is a mechanism for on-chain governance that will be a precursor to the transition to the Voltaire phase in Cardano. There's a little tweet for it right there. Glad to see the community going through this. I'd encourage everyone in Cardano to do readings of the CIP and share your opinions, both pro and con. That's a proper way to actually release an upgrade for those of you who don't know. You ask the community how they feel about it. There are a lot of other coins, they will not be named, where basically someone in the project comes up with a proposal and they throw it out there immediately for voting. They never ask if there are pros and cons, and then a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere else tend to get a bit riled up if they don't like the actual proposal. So you're supposed to, in a decentralized world, ask the community how they feel about these improvement proposals and what they find to be the pros and cons of them as well. The proposal put forward by developer Jared Corduan, in late November, is now in the voting process. Voltaire itself, as explained by Hoskinson, is intended to be the last stage or the latest stage in the development of the Cardano network, and to set an example for the rest of the industry as to how decentralized management is done. Charles Hoskinson is a very special character. He is constantly online talking about things that are going to happen, what's coming next, what should be done here, who needs to shut their mouth. For those of you who didn't, the last 38 times, Charles Hoskinson picks fights with everyone online. So a lot of times he's telling people to not talk about Cardano or to talk about Cardano more. For those of you who missed about a week ago, when Coinbase released Coinbase released something where they were talking about the future of coins in 2023. And Charles Hoskinson went on like a long rant talking about how they should have talked about Cardano. So he makes sure that he is ever present in the news. Another major innovation is the development of a price index for Cardano native tokens by the DC Spark team. The idea is that the index can be deployed locally and for free, I would hope so, without the need for an API or a third party. For reference, the number of native tokens on Cardano currently stands at over 7 million. That is to say, every single kind of coin. I assume they're also throwing in smart contracts into that as well, and also NFTs, because there aren't even 7 million coins in the cryptocurrency space. So it's the amount of things that are actually on the network that are referenced as tokens is over 7 million. Someone said you can now run your own local price indexer for Cardano native assets. And they left a little emoji with hard eyes. Okay, you can run it entirely locally with no trusted API server to pay for. 3 decentralized exchanges are supported for now, but more may be added in the future. And I think a list of them is somewhere. Yep, it's mini swap dex or min swap dex or min swap. It says MINSWAP. I'm going to assume is min swap dex. Wing Riders and Sunday Swap as well. Just in the last couple of days alone, we have the price index thing. We have the other thing that was up here, CIP 1694. We have Ouroboros Leonas, I think it is. We have the JED stablecoin that's also coming out. And there were two other proposals. Listen, if 2023 is not a big year for Cardano, I would be absolutely flabbergasted. There's no way that this coin can have 97 upgrades and proposals and things constantly being added to their blockchain, into their ecosystem, and the price just doesn't skyrocket. It's literally impossible because they're basically doing everything at the exact same time. Here's the tweet. Wait, come on. I was looking for the mouse. Here's the tweet as well for those of you who wanted to see the actual tweet from Charles Hoskinson. Yeah, that's the Cardano. Has like 95 upgrades, all happening sometime next year. Let's see if we can get back to a $1 ADA. And yeah, let's move on. Also in long-standing news, I don't know what to call this, Grayscale Investments is apparently exploring options to return a portion of the money of its flagship Grayscale Bitcoin product if the United States Securities and Exchange Commission refuses to approve its spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, the firm said in an investor letter. Grayscale has been trying, and many other companies as well, have been trying to get a Bitcoin ETF push through in the United States since, I think, 2014, 2015 are some of the oldest ones. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust is basically a Bitcoin ETF in all but the name. However, Grayscale wants the name. They don't want it to be called the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They want it to be a logical Bitcoin ETF. And they've applied three times to the US SEC to get it changed into a Bitcoin ETF. And every single time they've been told no. However, part of the issue is because of the corruption of the SEC, the, what do you call it? The value, I can't find the word in my head. The premium, there we go. The premium on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust from Grayscale has fallen dramatically. The last time we heard about it, the premium was down by 50%. So basically the Bitcoin that Grayscale Investments is selling through their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust roughly at the time now is around $8,000 per coin, which I find, one, interesting. You would assume that people would simply just be buying from Grayscale alone. If they are valuing their Bitcoin at $8,000, why aren't more institutions buying exclusively from Grayscale? I don't know. One option that they're talking about is to offer tender for up to 20% of the outstanding GBTC shares, which are currently trading, there we go, at a 49% discount to net asset value, the letter said. I think a lot of people who have invested with them are maybe, I don't know the full details, looking for some of their money back, and this is why Grayscale is trying to propose what they are proposing. Maybe it's because I don't understand the direct ins and outs of this, but I assume normally people put their money and buy into funds. If this is a Grayscale Bitcoin fund, wouldn't it just make sense that if people are looking to buy Bitcoin from an institutional level perspective, that they would simply just be buying it through Grayscale? So I wonder how the discount even begins, as far as like the way that I understood it was that Grayscale has purchased Bitcoin and they're holding those Bitcoin equal to the amount of Bitcoin that they have in the actual trust. So how does the premium disappear, and how do you get a 49% discount on Bitcoin's price through their fund? You understand what I'm saying? If one piece of the fund is one Bitcoin, how is it worth 49% less? Grayscale has been knocked back multiple times in its mission to convert its Bitcoin trust into an ETF with the SEC, citing a lack of regulatory oversight in the brief earlier this month. The problem is that the US SEC won't allow a Bitcoin ETF because they say that there's no regulatory oversight. The problem is that they are the regulator. Yeah, see, yeah, right. So they're supposed to be the ones to give everyone regulations, but they're not doing it. So until they give regulations, there is no regulatory oversight, and no one can actually have a Bitcoin ETF. The letter by Grayscale chief executive Michael Sonnenschein attempted to ease concerns among shareholders after a turbulent month across the industry because everyone was made to be terrified of FTX. So as I mentioned about 4 weeks ago at this point, I told everyone to calm themselves and to not go into a tizzy, because part of the problem is so many people have actually left the cryptocurrency space, and so many investors have left the cryptocurrency space, and people who were thinking about getting into the cryptocurrency space, guess what? They've left because everyone was trying so heavily to scare everyone over the last couple of weeks. Now there's barely any money flowing into the cryptocurrency space. That's what I mean when you don't understand that we are all one industry. Everyone in the cryptocurrency space is so tribal, and everyone thinks that this coin is better than that one, or this coin is the rival to this one, and this one is... You forget, negative news ripples through every single industry. If people hear that something has collapsed, which has nothing to do with Bitcoin, FTX once again did not create Bitcoin, and they were not Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was not Alameda. When people hear that something is negatively affecting our markets, it should be your job and mine. This is why I have a news channel, to let people know the actual news and what's going on. Because if you scare them enough, they'll get scared and then they leave the market. So that's basically what's been happening over the course of this year. And it's only accelerated in the last 4 months. I'm still wondering why Grayscale, or how they got to a 49% discount. Can normal people buy some of that cheap Bitcoin? I'm asking for a friend. All right, that's the Grayscale news, or the continuation of the Grayscale saga. Let's see if they make it into next year. All righty. Let's move on. Also in news, Gate US, the US arm of the fourth largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume. Really? Gate.io is the fourth largest crypto exchange in the world? I would have never, ever guessed. We never hear about Gate ever. We hear about BitMEX. We randomly also sometimes hear about Poloniex. Really? Anyway, Gate US, the United States arm of the fourth largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume, Gate.io, says it has received operating licenses in several states within the United States, bringing it closer to launching services within the country. Founder and president of Gate.io and its U.S. entity, Lin Han, announced in a 19th of December statement that the Gate US is now registered as a money services business with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, the country's money laundering and financial crimes watchdog. He added, the exchange obtained some money transmission licenses or similar to operate and is currently working to obtain more. Oh, this is that stupid thing. Yeah. This is that thing, for those of you who don't know, or haven't been here before. For some reason, you would logically assume that there's a license that you need to work within the United States, but nope, you actually have to get 50 different licenses, which is nonsense. And you also need licenses as well for U.S. territories as well. What a live to be a time. Gate US did not disclose which states it had obtained licenses from, but said it is yet to accept users from the country at this stage. In terms of usage, however, you guessed it, states it will not be available to Hawaii, New York, and Puerto Rico will not be able to access Gate US. I've seen a couple of people over the years asking me where to get certain coins and where to do certain things because they live in New York or Hawaii or in other U.S. territories. You got to Google it, just simply because, I had assumed 1,000 years ago that if somebody had paperwork to work in the U.S., that they'd, kind of have a blanket over it. But lo and behold, crypto taught me differently, and that's not how any of this actually works. So yeah, Gate US, apparently the fourth largest crypto exchange by trading volume in the world, sure, why not, is trying to get pieces of paper so that they can work in the US. Sounds weird, right? You need pieces of paper to do things all the time. It's literally a sliced piece of tree with ink on it. Yeah, the world doesn't make much sense. That's the Gate US is trying to expand into the US. And yeah, let's move on. Also according to Andreessen Horowitz, or A16Z, crypto founder or fund founder Chris Dixon, the majority of the capital in its most recent fund has yet to be deployed. Wow. In May of this year, or 2022, A16Z announced a $4.5 billion venture fund for Web3, crypto, and blockchain startups. Speaking on The Blocks podcast on the 19th of December, Dixon said that he had deployed less than 50%, so they have the majority of the recent fundraise left. The venture firm has an active crypto portfolio of almost 50 companies, and it is still keen to expand its investments into the sector as well. Andreessen Horowitz and his 2 or 3 other companies are of the very few companies out there that during the collapse of the cryptocurrency market's prices over the course of this year have continuously either bought up multiple companies, or they've been hiring people or buying new whatever people buy with their billions of dollars. So yeah, it's very few companies. Many of them have either had layoffs, or they've simply closed down completely, or no one's using their chain or their coin or their business anymore because of the elongated crypto winter. Furthermore, the company has raised a total of $7.6 billion for the industry following the launch of its first fund in 2018. So I guess good for them. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they'll make it if they have billions of dollars. But this news, I think, was put out there as a yay, things are still moving forward despite the prices moving down. But if you still have billions of dollars to invest in crypto and Web3 and other cryptocurrency companies, I assume you're going to do just fine. I don't assume there's any hardships coming your way, especially if you've lasted this long, if you've lasted the entirety of the year and you haven't had any hiccups, then I assume your company is just going to be peachy keen. That's the Andreessen Horowitz, still has billions of dollars to invest. That must be nice. All right. Let's move on. Also in the news, the crypto winter is proving to be unbearable for some, understatement, but other businesses enjoy the cold weather. That sentence is weird. Binance is taking advantage of the current market conditions to expand into the Asian market by acquiring its third licensed cryptocurrency exchange. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, crypto exchanges buy other exchanges so that they don't, it's like anti-competition kind of. That's where we get the word monopoly from. If you buy up everything else that's like you, and you are the top honcho, and you own all of them, monopoly. This 19th of December, Binance confirmed that it became the majority shareholder of Indonesian cryptocurrency exchange known as Tokocrypto. I thought it was Tokyo Crypto. No, it is Tokyo Crypto. What am I talking about? It is Tokocrypto. It says Tokocrypto up here. Okay. It says Tokocrypto up here. Here it says Tokocrypto, and then further down lower, it also says Tokocrypto. But why would you name something Tokocrypto if you're in Indonesia? Maybe because the name sounds rhymey? I'm going to say Tokocrypto. Appointing a new CEO following the resignation of Pang Tzu Kai, its founder and now former CEO. As reported by CNBC Indonesia, Binance plans to acquire all of Tokocrypto shares in a phased manner. How rich is Binance? Especially if you've been watching, and I'll give it the last 3 weeks, especially the other news I missed videos. Every single day, Binance is buying a new company. They're waiting for another company to fail so that they can acquire their assets. They're partnering with governments and shaking hands with world leaders. They were just recently in the news for helping some other country fix their cryptocurrency regulations, and I assume Binance is probably buying land there as well. I'll skim over this one. A lot of times, a lot of people don't realize that these huge corporations, with the extra money that they're making, they're buying tons of land and tons of real estate, basically all around the world. There are other entities that do the exact same thing, but for the sake of controversy, I won't be naming them, but you can probably guess if you know what I'm talking about. They become very rich, have tax benefits, and they buy up huge amounts of land and are worth billions upon billions of dollars. As reported by CNBC Indonesia, Binance plans to acquire all of Tokocrypto shares in a phased manner to operate legally in the country, as the exchange has all the regulatory permits from the Commodities Futures Trading Regulatory Agency, or the BAPPEBTI. BAPPEBTI. I was totally off. This is also a very clever way to be able to get easy regulatory approval inside of a country. They do this the same exact way for countries that are listed on the stock market. If you don't want to take 3 years to get regulatory approval, you simply buy another company who has all the paperwork that you need, and as they are then beneath you and you own them, you therefore also now have the paperwork. Isn't that weird? It says it's worth mentioning that Binance has been investing in Tokocrypto since 2020, so has had a long time and close relationship with the exchange. Now, I assume they were planning this for a couple of years ago. I don't think it had anything to do with them having an amicable, friendship. I'm pretty sure it was just them being okay, we're paying attention to your finances. We're going to invest in you. And then when we see that the market has gone down, we're going to acquire you, because that seems to be the name of the game with every other company, but also Binance. I feel like Binance is a lot larger than any of us actually will ever figure out. I feel like Binance is going to become one of those BlackRock kind of companies, where they simply own everything, but we don't know exactly to what extent. Did you ever? So this was sometime in the summer when I was mentioning BlackRock and how when they officially announced they were getting into crypto, I was like, okay, well, I'm going full in. Here's all my money. And then I started looking deeper into how BlackRock even came to be. It's from the 1980s. For those of you who don't know, I'll skim you through the history. Somebody created an algorithm for cryptocurrency trading. Allegedly, the history goes, it didn't work. This guy left the company where he was. He took the algorithm, and the algorithm now is called Aladdin. And basically, this algorithm basically dictates what world governments will do, where they're going to put their money, how people invest. When real estate was being bought up in heavy excess in 2020 and 2021, it was because of Aladdin. Aladdin basically gave signals that real estate was now the new thing to acquire. So anyway, just weird segue, but I feel like Binance has been around for 5 years. It hasn't really been that long, and they're the number one cryptocurrency exchange on the planet. We hear non-stop news about how much that Binance has bought, how much they've acquired, the assets that they have, this and so and so and so and so. And we don't hear that from Coinbase. We don't hear that from Gemini. We don't hear that from Kraken. Not to say that there aren't acquisitions happening, but they usually become public at some point. Everyone figures it out. I feel like Binance is going to be one of the first $1 trillion cryptocurrency companies. It's very, very crazy to see how fast they've grown and how rapidly they are still acquiring things. That's the Binance news. Unsurprising, they're in the news all the time. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, Chinese telecom giant Huawei doesn't believe that the current telecom infrastructure is enough to cope with the needs of the metaverse, adding that 5G and 6G networks might be enough. Do we even have 6G yet? I'm really honestly asking because this will sound a bit stupid. I remember when 3G was brand new and I was like, whoa, it has a 3 in front of it. That's crazy. So do we have 6G? Because I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore, but I don't know. The comments came from Huawei's Middle East region chief expert on business and strategy consulting. His name is Abhinav Purohit, who published a 3-part blog series on December 20th, focused on the potential of the metaverse sector and where telecom companies will fit into the picture. Describing what the metaverse is or what the actualization will look like, Purohit outlined that a metaverse is a collective virtual shared experience which will allow geographical distant participants to enjoy realistic, spatially aware experiences that seamlessly blend virtual content in a user's physical world. So a metaverse. He also added that the notion of an open metaverse is closely tied to the Web3 movement, as inbuilt economies will be enabled by digital currencies and NFTs. To realize such a vision, download speeds, streaming quality, mobile devices, and metaverse hardware, among other things, will need rapid improvements to enable a smoothly operational virtual sphere, he said. I didn't even think about that. You know what's kind of weird is I never thought about that we'd need like fast internet everywhere. Have you ever looked at how fast or how slow your internet is? I learned that the hard way. I was at a friend's house and I was using their internet and I was like, oh, my internet's garbage. Yeah, I mean, the downloads and upload speeds at his house were almost unbelievable. And there are tons of places like this in the world. Like, if we have issues now with like internet speeds and also like the internet not working sometimes and like connectivity issues, what are we supposed to do when the entire world is just digital, or like we're sitting at home in a corner with a headset on, or like everything is augmented reality? Kind of weird to think about. I never thought of it. So it seems like every 2 years we get another G. So maybe next year is 6G. Is 6G a thing? I'm going to have to Google it after this because I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. I remember everyone losing their minds over 5G when I heard nothing about 6G. So I assume 7G is in 2025, 2026. A lot of G's going on. I don't know. Just a lot of stuff. Anyway, so I'm not surprised that Huawei would say this. They have a very checkered history when it comes to trustability. I don't think that's a word, but yeah. So cool. I guess we can all look forward to much faster internet, or the metaverse is never going to take off because you need to be able to have those fast internet speeds. All right. That's the Huawei. We need more better internet's infrastructure newses. Okay. This is getting weird now. Let's move on. Yeah. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I'm so tired. I don't know why. Like, my eyes are... Oh, never mind. No, wait, no. No, I'm tired. Never mind. I was going to say I'm not tired, but I was like, no, I'm definitely tired. I can feel the tiredness, like, exuding from my body. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, commenting, and or subscribing. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.